You know what? I'm really glad we chose to start a podcast. This is going to go so well. Cam would want his career goals as his laptop background, but one of my favourite ones was him photoshopped into the Jordy podcast.
What the fuck?
Yes,
right,
it was.
you want to cut your shit?
Oh, football friends. Oh, this is why your demographic hates you.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, baby.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. I was going to shout.
What start?
Ready? No, that's
Just keep that in. Keep that in.
Don't keep that in.
Keep it in. Keep it in.
Don't. Are we editing it?
God knows. Guess we'll find out.
Stop it.
Stop it. Right.
Okay.
Before it starts, lads.
You know what, guys? You know what? I'm really glad we chose to start a podcast. This is going to go so well. Hello, guys, and welcome to Antisocial, the podcast that's brought by the lovely guys at Adrian Flux. This feels very weird because it feels like getting a bit of a weight off my chest because we've been waiting so long.
I feel like I'm in Benidorm with what you're wearing, by the way.
Oh, you bottled your.
You just come from the buffet, have you?
Oh, you bottled your shirt.
Let's just say
you were happy to wear one, and now you've sacked it off, and now you've thrown me under the bus.
you bottled it.
Look at Machine Gun Kelly piping up.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
All right, Matty Healy. This man had a shirt even dazzlier. Is that even a word? Dazzlier? Than him, but he's bottled it last minute. He had it on all day. He was really excited and he's bottled it.
Yeah, we just need to remind you.
Bottled it, just like EXO.
Oh, it started already.
Right, lads, well, that's right. That's over.
At least you were able to speak in this one.
What is going on with you?
Can we start?
We're friends. We're having a conversation.
It's taken us how long? Like
Wait.
3 months.
Is this all?
Yeah.
Is this all your first podcast? Like, even if it's like.
Yeah, I've never done a podcast.
I thought you'd done one with your mates. Are you just throwing him under the bus? Your mate. I forgot what his name is. You did a podcast with him.
What are you going on about?
He done a podcast with one of his mates. So I'm saying if he's done a podcast before, and you said you've not done a podcast before.
I've never done.
I have no clue what you're on about.
You've definitely done a podcast with one of your mates, and he's saying
we've got stuff to talk about
Yes.
today. What are you on about?
Well, it has. Yes. Even if you go on this channel and look at when the date was created, I think it was October 2019 that we've had this in. So we've not rushed into it. You can tell by the setup. We've took our time.
Basically, it was mine and Lewis's idea to have a podcast, and then we were literally like, I think we were just chilling on Discord one time, and then this kid just kept begging me to join it, and I was like, okay, fine. So that's how we've got it.
So that's me.
Yeah, that's it. All the way from Benidorm.
Great. Can we leave? Sorry. Please, I'm here to have a nice time. It's taken us a lot of work, hasn't it?
Well, I think we should kick it off by kind of starting how we all got here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically how we know each other, because we met each other
It's
first.
nearly 3 years since we moved in. Isn't that mental?
Yeah, so we lived in a place called the Council House, which would many people know about that?
Long time viewers, yeah. Maybe not the name necessarily, but me, Cam, Callum, and Daniel Ranty all lived together in a place in Durham in October 2017.
Yeah, and basically,
Worst time of my life.
I met you on the day we moved in.
Same with Callum and same with Dan. I met all of you on the day of moving in.
Yeah, because I don't understand why we actually did it. Do you know what I mean? Like, from your point of view, right? From your point of view, let's say 4 lads. How many subscribers did you have? Your channel was dead. Let's face it.
8 or 9K it was at the time, and I had just stopped gaming content and I was transitioning into commentary videos.
My channel was dead, under a K. Dan, I think Dan was getting about 50 views.
I swear you had about 3K when we moved in, I swear it was about 3K.
Dan?
No, you.
Oh, me, yeah, about 3K. Yeah, and
Dan's not even on 3K now. Sorry, Dan. R.I.P. the Ranty channel.
Yeah, SpaceX Live, represent. By the way, though, so what would you say if, like, these lads joined it in a group? You would think it was mad, wouldn't you, that no one's making any real money off it?
Well,
So what
Callum was.
He
was getting like 1 mil, 2 mil views a month off Jake Paul and like Team 10. That's when Team 10 was in its prime.
I think the fact you wanted to move to Durham was mad in itself.
No. You
Googled the cheapest place?
The Google, it was the best place for quality in the UK, and Durham was number 1, and I think like I can't pronounce this place, just one word I can't pronounce, but Birmingham was number 2. I can't pronounce that word. There's one word I just can't pronounce.
Birmingham.
Birmingham is number 2.
Yeah.
So we're like, not moving there.
Yeah.
And Durham was like 20 minutes down the road from them. So like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, and we lived in a council house, which was about 500. Imagine getting a house with just 5 bedrooms.
5 bedroom detached.
For like £600 a month, yeah.
5 bedroom
What would you get
detached.
for £600 a month in London?
Maybe a house share at the most. A house share amongst like 4 people.
£600 usually is like 1 bedroom shared accommodation.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah,
with- without ensuite or anything, like a shared.
Like just a room. Just a
Even
room.
a penthouse.
Oh, yeah.
We don't talk about
Yeah, so we've came from we're not going to say we've came from very rough beginnings because we haven't, but yeah, it's a bit
I mean,
mental.
we've all got perms.
Yeah, it's just a bit mental that we managed to go from Durham in 2017 to here now in such a it feels long and short at the same time.
Yeah,
kinda.
I feel like we should tell Charlie some of the stories. Do you want to know some of the stories from there, or should we?
I mean, give me your. I've heard a couple over
Heard a
time,
couple.
but I'd like to hear something new. So hit me with something new.
Oh, I really want to tell him about the spike kettle.
Yeah, we
one,
need
though.
to. The spike kettle one was funny. That
The
was
what? Spike cutter.
The spike kettle.
Kettle.
We're gonna have you as a translator, aren't we?
Kettle.
The spiked kettle, ladies and gentlemen.
The spiked kettle.
Yeah, the spiked kettle.
Right. So basically, we had a house party.
Yeah.
My friends. Lewis didn't. Did you have any friends at that point?
Still doesn't.
Antisocial.
No, the name.
And Cal's friends, and everyone joined together before coronavirus, and then we just had like how many people was it? About 30 people? Would you say 20 people?
I say more.
Yeah,
40,
and
50.
Whatever. I passed out before it even started. I think Cal frothed at the mouth and
So
punched somebody. That will not.
yeah. So
I can't say who that was.
well, I was on a date. Yeah, she left me. So we're on. I was
Not
on
for the first time.
I was on a date. I was on a date, and I came back. Like I was about an hour or 2 hours late to my own house party, which I knew was going to happen. And I was like, "Oh, where's Cam?" They're like, "Oh, he's upstairs. Go check him." And Cam was in his bed, passed out. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think he pissed his pants.
Vaguely remember that part.
His whole bed was wet and soaked through, and his head was in a bucket. And
not for the last time.
Yeah, and I was stroking his back saying,
sponsored.
"Cam, you okay?" And you're like, "Oh, Trevor, you're shut down, man." I don't know. Still to this day,
We don't know, but basically,
he was.
the night happened.
And Callum got spiked at the same time.
Should we stop?
This sounds crazy. if
Yeah,
it's
basically,
Callum,
the night happened, okay? Everyone, moved on, everyone went out. We were just left in the house.
Someone took her back door key.
Someone took my back door key, not sure why.
Just because in case they wanted to come back.
Yeah, maybe they were having a key.
Okay.
Sponsored.
We
Let's move on.
move.
If you went on Cam's pinned tweet on Twitter, you can see in the background
Yeah.
we've got an ironing board and a sugar can holding up the door handle so nobody could open it.
I think he's kind of regretting moving in now.
I just don't know what I have moved in with, to be honest.
Anyway, we woke up on the morning. I was like, Lewis, would you like a cup of tea? Put the kettle on, normal thing. Yorkshire, we're Yorkshire tea men, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Put it in. Anyway, drink it. Feel a little bit fuzzy. Walking on Lewis, he's literally on his bed like this. Can't move. I'm like, Lewis, are you feeling dodgy? I felt like I was having to come down.
I felt really spaced out. It was really weird.
I felt like I was having to. You couldn't move. You were staring at the ceiling for like an hour.
I felt fried. I felt really fried.
And I just felt like, I don't know, like I was just...
Didn't you
I
say
didn't want to
you-
be here?
You were trying to put your hand on your mouth.
Oh,
and
I
you
was
couldn't-
trying to put my hand on my mouse and it was like... Do you know, like on Deadpool when he grows the new hands? And he's like... I felt like that. And I couldn't do it. I was like, Lewis, are you all right? And it was because the kettle got spiked.
Yeah.
How did you find out that the kettle
Because
got
his
spiked,
mate
though?
told him.
Or
Yeah,
because
man.
every single time you had a tea, you were just fucked.
Fuck the dealer.
I think we looked inside
20
the
bags
Tips
of
his
the...
chain.
and I think there was a few illegal substances in, as well as noodles.
Nah, fuck 20 bags, we've got tea bags.
So yeah, that was a rough story.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the weirdest
what-
things that happens.
What would you say on a scale of 1 to 10 how bad that is?
I would just want to know who would have put stuff in the kettle.
His
to be
mates.
honest.
His mates.
Yeah, they weren't invited back.
Scale of 1 to 10. It could have been worse. Like, if
Could
you
have
didn't-
been worse.
Someone like me, I would literally just buy new tea bags.
But you had to try the tea bags.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, I would have thought, there's something wrong with the tea.
Oh, okay.
I would have kept using the kettle. So I'd be like, there's something wrong with the fucking tea.
Hey, these tea bags from Tesco.
Tesco's finest moving different these days. Yeah, no, yeah, I don't move like that though. I probably wouldn't be able to clock that. That was.
Well, we
actually
didn't. We just thought it was like, do you know, like if you're really tired and then you get like a caffeine rush, it was like that. I thought that's what originally I thought it was. I was like, well, geez, not felt like this in a while. I thought I might have just been like hungover.
In a while.
In a while.
Adrian Flux, if you are watching.
We apologise for his behaviour. It does not represent Cam and I.
It does. We are all the same. But yeah, that was
Anyway.
yeah, and then I got so depressed I left the house after 6 months, and then they stayed. Well, it was only a 6
Lewis, grab me violin.
Here we are 3 months into the house. Lewis does not quite know what's going on yet.
Still
We've only
depressed.
just started and he's still depressed.
So it was like it was a 6 months tenancy. So I was going to leave anyways, but they decided to do another 6 months. Don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
Do you know what the worst part was? Right, so they stayed for another 6 months, but they only stayed for another 3. Then left, but continued paying rent. But they left the house empty for the last 3 months.
We rented it out, got somebody in.
That bad.
It was bad. Anyway.
Actually, no, to be fair, in relation to Council House,
Uh-huh.
to now where we're doing living situation, how are you guys finding it? Because I don't know about then, but I know about now.
Yeah, it feels really good. I'm just happy to not have to put my shoes in to walk to the kitchen.
Oh my God.
I remember one time I had one of my mates over and I started to put on my shoes in my bedroom. He went, where are you going? I went, the kitchen.
Oh my God, that was true.
It was disgusting. The floor was, and there was every time you went to the bin, there was maggots. In Callum's room, he had flies flying around his room because he wouldn't tidy it, and it would just be so much rubbish.
That was because he'd just come out of a 4-year relationship, though, and
Let him have the flies.
Yeah,
right?
let him have the
flies.
just for that. As
They
long
won't
as
leave
there's no
him.
flies anymore.
Yeah.
Then we're all right.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that's really all that happened, and then you went back. You got quite a nice place in Newcastle. To be fair, the place you had was really nice. I quite liked it.
We've talked about how we like our first thing. So what about you?
What were you
Charlie?
doing? What were you doing
about
in late
2 years ago?
late 2017, early 2018?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
2 years ago. Fuck. What was I, like 29?
Who's that? A fucking Buffy at Benetton, man.
Back to your 20s.
2 years ago. What was I doing? I'm not too sure, lads. I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to think.
That's gonna be the meme, isn't it? That you're the old one.
He is. But it's not a meme. He's 28.
I'm 24, fam.
You're 24.
Shut up.
Gonna get your
You're
bus pass next
You're
year.
22, right?
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up. 2 years ago, came out my first relationship. That was it. That was
What were you doing? Still barman?
No, I was at uni, so I was doing audio production then. And then that's when I first started working for Ethan about 2 years ago.
Oh, was that your first YouTube job?
My first official job was a Sidemen Sunday.
Oh, you
really?
I
official
know.
job, yeah.
I know this, but I don't think Cam does. Neither does people. But how did you actually meet them? It was from the Roxy, wasn't it?
Yeah, so
Like
I
all the
used to
Sidemen.
work at the Roxy, which is a club in central London, and then Freezy and all the others used to come in.
Uh-huh.
And then I was just obviously a bartender there, got to know him, and then I said to Freezy, let's play football sometime. So we went to Shoreditch football, played a couple times there. Then we started just bringing more and more friends, and then he introduced me to Ethan.
Football friends.
Oh, this is why your demographic hates you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shut up. Yeah, and then just went from there. Ethan was a West Ham fan, so we started going West Ham.
West
games.
Ham.
So then I started editing a couple of his videos.
I watched a video when you had was it mad hair?
Yeah, we do not talk about those things. Yeah, 2 years ago was a dark time.
You had
Actually.
real long hair, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Is it
How long?
Hagrid?
Like
It was like
shoulders.
down there, yeah, but it was like shaved. Well, shaved. I would say shaved, but it wasn't shaved. I'd get one haircut once every 4 months.
Like
I
a
couldn't
female
afford another
UFC
haircut.
fighter.
Yeah, it was pretty much
Just back and sides long ones.
I had a V in the back of my head at one time as well. I've gone through a lot of hairstyles.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So from there, so
Yeah.
you got the Sidemen Sunday. What was the first Sidemen Sunday?
It was punishment pool, like as in snooker pool kind of thing.
Mm.
So that was at the old Sidemen house. So Ethan said Con couldn't film that week, and then Con said to me, "Would you?" Ethan said, "Like, I need someone to come in and film for us.
Yeah.
So can you do it?" And
Did
then
you have
he was
any
like,
like
"Can you edit
camera experience or editing experience at this point?
Yes, but mainly for myself as like a hobby kind of thing.
Oh,
It
okay.
was very, very minimal. Like for me, like working for Sidemen stuff is a testament of like who you know and not what you know.
Yeah.
Because I did know, but I got given an opportunity which people who are more qualified than me didn't get. So that's something I was always very grateful for.
But still, if you get that opportunity,
But I did well. Like I did
Yeah.
well. Like the video came across like well as an edited on this little thing, which editing Sidemen Sundays last year on this was stress because it's like 7 or 8 camera angles on a laptop. Or
Yeah, I can think of anything worse. I hated editing on a
7
laptop.
audio files, 7 camera angles. I was just like every single week. Whenever I say every single week. I've edited probably about 6 Sidemen Sundays in total. And Con used to do the other ones, and then Mo, who's JJ's editor, did the other ones, and then there's another guy who I think for Vic, but now they've got a guy called Dylan who does it. He lives in LA.
well, I think now
He's full-time editor now.
Now on the subject, I think what I wanted to know from you, like behind the scenes of filming, editing Sidemen Sundays, is there any like anything that the viewers wouldn't necessarily see, which is quite interesting, or any funny stories behind the scenes that have happened, which you could tell?
Trying to think of funny stories. There's not really many. It's always a good time. To be fair.
What's been the funnest one to like film, for
Oh,
example?
Total Wipeout in Amsterdam. I just remember.
is that what it
I
was?
Was that in Amsterdam?
Yeah, I came back and I was so ill after. Like, I was so ill.
Marijuana. You know.
I had a few zoos, yeah, but I remember coming back and I just had a zoo at the airport, and I just remember sitting there on the plane like this.
All right, Kirkham, calm down.
Why? But I just sat there. I was like, you know, because I don't smoke weed often, but I do like it. It's just for me, it's tobacco that I don't like.
Yeah.
So I don't ever
why
smoke
was that the
cigarettes.
best then? Why was that?
Because it was the experience of being able to go away.
Yeah.
Before whole lockdown was going to happen, we were going to go to LA, and we were supposed to be in LA in May to June. It was about like 3 weeks. I was going to go out there a week early with Ethan.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks filming with Sidemen boys out there. I was looking forward to so much. Lockdown, clarted. I was like, fuck.
So you know,
That'd be
with
so good.
with the process of like the Total Wipeout one,
Yeah.
what is the whole? Because I think people would be interested to know from, say they've got an idea for a Sidemen video,
Yeah.
from the idea to
Yeah.
actually filming the video. What is the process, or what? At
So-
least from your side.
From my understanding, what the process is, obviously, I'm part of like the camera crew and
Yeah.
helping with the production side behind the scenes. You've got TP, who's kind of like a PA, so to speak, but she does so much more than just be a PA.
Yeah.
She's class. But she does like contact with, like liaising with other people to be able to
Yeah.
get clients coming in. Like, say for example, like
Just
the
tying it
Tinder-
all together.
Yeah, for sure. Like she'll do all of like the groundwork. The boys used to be, still are responsible for like each week of the videos.
Yeah.
You know, but less
Oh,
responsibility.
so they control that.
Yeah, they used to be like a lot more though, because they used to have to find an editor and everything else like that. Now they've got a full-time editor and same camera crew every week kind of
Yeah.
thing. So it's a lot more less pressure.
Yeah, they've got a proper structure to it now.
Oh,
Don't they?
it's
Proper,
incredible.
like,
It's
names.
so it's so
like a
well run.
powerhouse now, isn't
It's
it?
so well run. Like, because I started doing e-boys recently, and it's like they're learning how to do it. So I was kind of like trying to help
Model what works, kind of thing.
Model
Yeah.
works. So basically, with video ideas, they've had like on an Excel spreadsheet, they've got hundreds of video ideas just there ready to do, and they've all got access to it, and they'll put a rating on it. So then the higher rating ones, they'll be like, "Oh, this is what we're going to try and do soon."
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
it's like a joint kind of thing, and then at the end, all right.
And then they choose what video they want to do. But it's such a well-oiled machine. It's like they've got their own document of like when they're going to be filming and everything.
That's
It's
sick though, because
really- it's really good.
a lot of big groups like just get a video producer to pick all the ideas. So it's sick that they keep the creative control.
They're very much in control of like creativity, which is probably why they enjoy their videos.
Yeah, you wouldn't enjoy getting told what to do all the
You
time.
know the Sidemen show.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, an example, like 2 things about that. So you've got the Sidemen show, which was shit. Like it was shit, like pure crap.
Beef.
No, but then you've got Ethan's, not at all. Then you've got Look, which it's good.
I thought it was brilliant, mate.
All right.
Can't believe you're saying
I'm gonna
it.
eat more Asa. But it was crap, but it was also like a testament to like a UK group of doing something good. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shit on it because it's better than anything I've done in my life. But it was
Tell that to West Ham Vlog 43.
but it was doo-doo. But it's because they didn't have creative control. Had they had creative control, it would have probably been like, all right, fine. A lot of it was scripted. It was very like, like very demographic of like more youth, you know. Ethan's documentary, which is coming out soon, shits all over that. Like, absolute. It's filmed incredibly. Like, it's a very, very real.
I got a preview. It's good.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well, that's got that podcast title. Now I can.
Yeah, but it's really good.
So you
But
enjoy
like,
it?
I love my job. I just hate editing, which is what I've started to do less of. I like filming. I just don't like editing.
Editing is for me, like, I enjoy the creative aspect, like all the effects and that. It's just the actual cutting down. I hate that. I hate that process.
I like doing B-roll sequences, like cinematics and stuff, because for me there's creativity in that.
And it's like it's different every time, so that's why it's fun.
And then in regards to creating a concept for a video, the way you'd like to structure something, not necessarily through the edit, it's just like coming up with the thought process of a video, that I enjoy as well, which is why I feel like if me doing YouTube stuff doesn't like pan out, which I have every intention of it actually panning out, but if it doesn't, I'd probably go into more directing, videography, filming, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
As opposed to editing, like, get me away from that. Oh my Christ.
Yeah, you've either love it or hate it. Like,
I hate
But
it. I get in my own head.
yeah.
But I can imagine your own videos aren't a pain to edit because they're always different, whereas mine's...
Because they're shit.
because
Please, I'm the minnow here.
because mine's is like, for example, mine's, I'm not going to lie, they're pretty similar. I'm sitting in the same spot in 90% of my videos, so it's quite repetitive to edit.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, shut up. So it's quite repetitive, so that's why sometimes I don't enjoy it.
But yeah, I think with like obviously we've talked about, obviously we came from Council House. We came from obviously the Roxy meeting,
Roxy to Sidemen stuff.
So now, what we're talking like 2020, yeah.
We forgot one vital part at the end of the council house when you joined EXO.
I was literally going to get onto that.
Go on to that.
2018, 2019.
In case you didn't know, he joined EXO.
Right, come on then.
Can you please tell us what was occurring in that situation?
Well, what was occurring? Okay,
what was
I'll lay it
occurring?
out for you, okay?
Yes, go
Because
on,
I
mate.
remember
I haven't
when-
mentioned, if you didn't know, I did join EXO. You know, if you have mentioned it, you know, just put it there.
Really, really rinsing this whole story now.
Yeah, it's fine. For the views, right? Gonna pay for me.
I remember when it was like
Not happy hour.
I remember when it was your life goal. I don't.
You're a prick, you know.
I don't know.
Let him tell his story.
I don't know if Cam wants me to say this, but it's really funny. It's really funny.
It's really funny, guys. Stay tuned.
Cam would want his career goals as his laptop background. And he had something like his sub goal. It was like, do you know the sub count? He had like Cam Kirkham with like 1 million subs. But one of my favourite ones was him photoshopped into the Geordie podcast.
What the fuck?
Yes, it
Right,
was.
you want to cut your shit line.
And this is going to
What
be
you
our
fu-
last podcast.
Cut off that mic. No, it wasn't me, like, it wasn't me, someone else's computer. Okay, right. Basically, so what happened was I went on the kickoff. True Geordie, the kickoff. I chatted on this one. Makes a change.
Who was playing?
I don't know. I was talking so much. No, Liverpool versus Newcastle, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then anyway, that went well. Brian invited us down for another podcast. No, another kickoff show. Didn't talk on that. You know, true personality. And then after that, basically, they invited us down for EXO Try Not to Laugh.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
EXO Try Not to Laugh. And what happened with that was it went quite well for us, actually. Like, and Stephen it was the first episode that they'd had where it wasn't the four.
Is that the first time you'd met, like, Will, Stephen?
No, I'd met. Yeah, it was the first. I met Will on the day, I think. Yeah, I met Will on the day, which was like when I just seen it. You know, when you see someone's face and you're like, when you've seen it on a screen and you're like, what the fuck?
It's weird.
That's disgusting. No, I saw that and then did that. That went well. And then I found out, as everyone else found out, on a kickoff show that I was joined. So I was like, what the fuck? And I knew that, like, I think I've mentioned this in a video, I didn't think it was everyone's decision to let me join, which made...
Makes you feel unwanted type thing.
Not uncomfortable, because I was like, does everyone actually...
And you felt like you didn't really fit into the thick of it, you know?
because I was like, I've met these people like once and twice. Do these actually want me in? Like, has Brian just made this decision?
Do you think that was a matter of sometimes...
Especially with the shaved head and eyebrows. You looked
Yeah,
like
that
a
wasn't
Make-A-Wish.
the best.
I mean,
And
that
they
was
kept cutting off me mic.
That was a look in itself, but do you genuinely think, like, on a serious level, do you think that was a matter of potentially overthinking something?
Oh, massively, mate. But I'm a proper stress head. Like, my anxiety through the roof. Like, I remember on the train going down. Oh my God. I remember on the train going down. If I was like, this is how unconfident I am. If I yawned like a good amount of times on the train, I'd be like, I'm going to be shitting this podcast today. I'm going to be shit. And then I'd automatically be like, I'm going to be shit today. Podcast turn on. And I'd literally not speak. That would be my whole thing.
But at the same time, when there's so many people that are speaking, like how many, there's like 4 or 5 of you every time you're recording it, and especially when they do it all the time. Like
Lawrence McKenna.
they record podcasts all the time, so they know how to take control of it now to carry a conversation. So when you're like throwing in as it as like the extra man, you're like, oh.
But ultimately,
shit,
it's no one's. It's my fault for not being the. It's no one else's fault. They give us an opportunity. They gave us the opportunity, and I just didn't perform. Like, it's down to no one else. It's like if one of us didn't perform here, you can't blame it on anything. It's down to you. But what is funny is everyone memeing that I didn't do anything. Which anyone got any jokes? You know, Charlie Chaplin, anything you want to call us?
I've got it out my way. I've got it out the way.
Go on then.
No, I've got everything out of the way.
Yeah, it's
It's off your pigeon chest, is it?
Okay, brilliant.
So the sponsor for this podcast is a company that me and Lewis, we've done how many deals with them?
A lot. We love them. Half our bank account is due to them.
Literally, and the reason we've moved here is down to them. All three
Down
of
to them.
Down to them. Migos in the corner. Anyway, this company is what we like to call Adrian Flux.
So good, we actually named our hamster after
them. So, with Adrian Flux, there's a lot of good things with them. For example, they insure thousands of learner drivers and young drivers all over the UK.
All over the UK.
All over the UK,
Northern
Lewis.
Ireland, Scotland, England.
Wales. Everywhere. They insure everywhere.
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 Everywhere,
Like
everywhere.
Pitbull. Also, like I have in my car, if you want to save money, they also do a lot of black box policies. Now, if you don't know what a black box policy is, basically monitors your speed and stuff. If you want to save money, go for that. I don't know if you've ever had that.
I had a black box, saved me loads of money.
It does save you quite a lot.
Half my insurance.
Sometimes it can be that though,
Yeah,
especially your
literally.
first car.
For my first car, literally half my insurance.
Black box.
Like we said before, Adrian Flux have done. I think they've done a lot with Nico. I'm sure they've done something with it. They've done a lot with the UK like YouTubers, influencers. What we are, influencers. This podcast, and I mean this, wouldn't have been able to happen if it wasn't for the guys
Literally.
at Adrian Flux.
Literally.
Because we've
Impossible.
got impossible.
They've helped us with all the set, all the studio, all the equipment. So
Everything.
we're super grateful for them, and that's why we want you to help us and check them out.
Yeah, so basically, all we ask is if you just click the link that we will put in the description, because it really does help us out. And I also feel like it's not with, maybe it's like a game you might like get sponsored by. With Adrian Flux, they've actually provided with so much value. So
They gave us a home.
Yeah, they gave us a home. So it's only like, if you could just click that link in the description, it would really mean a lot to us.
Yep, give it a wee browse.
Aye.
Give it a browse.
So yeah, like I said, if you want this podcast, if you want to support this podcast, I genuinely mean that's the best way to do it.
If you want to keep it going.
If you want to, or if you want it dead, don't. But nevertheless, let's get on with the rest of the podcast.
All right, so Cam, why do you think that EXO ended?
Why? You look at Adam. You know what, mate? Like, it depends what angle you look at it from. So, I think
The right angle.
The right angle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not obtuse.
Not obtuse. Okay.
I can't remember what the other one is.
Isosceles.
Cute. No, that's a triangle, mate.
That was a test. Well done, you passed. Well done, Lewis. No, basically, don't know if we've got triangles. Oh, God. I think that it ended because the videos weren't the best at the end. And eventually, I think everybody... I know the budget ran out with it, which is why I don't... Did you watch EXO?
No.
Every now and again. I watched the ones you were in.
Oh, at least somebody did. Basically, when I joined, the budget got cut. Wonder why. I think that and then the videos got to like, would you rather? Like that kind of thing, rather than like high budget stuff. And then I know that everyone fell out with the people that actually owned EXO at Ball Street, or the investors. And then Ball Street went bust, who actually owned EXO, because the Sidemen, they own their channel, whereas EXO didn't own their channel. Yeah, it was like an investor thing.
Also, no, I don't know who the Sidemen are. No, so.
Do you not?
That was funny.
Shut up.
That was really funny, Charlie. Get it, guys? Because he films for the Sidemen. Don't know who they are.
He's been very nasty to you today.
Get him out of here. Yeah. Me and you next time, mate.
Get him out. I've already came out.
All right, Tommy Robinson.
On the topic of coming out.
Yeah, I came out as gay. No, I didn't come. Not gay.
Why have you said it like that? Why was so much anger?
No, I came out as, but it was actually like 2 days before we moved to, I think, wasn't it?
It was very early on. So
I remember it because it was right at the end of Pride Month. So I was like, oh fuck, I might as well do it now. Pretty much, I'd been seeing loads of people come out during Pride Month, and I was like, oh, I wish I could do that. I seen some other YouTubers, seen some complete strangers, and I was like, oh, I wish I could have the balls to do that. And I was like, oh, I might as well, because I'd feel more comfortable, especially since, believe it or not, I make jokes for a living.
When do they start?
Next year.
Okay.
Because of COVID, there's been some delays. So I was like, for example, there was some videos where I was making with Alex, and I'd make jokes about him like sucking dick and that, and I'd be like, oh, probably comes bad to like anyone. Like, obviously, I've got no mean intentions behind that, but I feel like to an outsider, it might come across I'm just taking the piss out of him for being bisexual. So I was like, oh, I'd prefer to come out, feel more comfortable, get it out of the way, because I've knew it for since I was like 11. So I just
11?
Yeah, for
11?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Do 11-year-olds normally excite you that much? 11? Oh,
you should have mentioned.
Should have mentioned. I was feeling the same.
I don't know what. Oh.
No, on that side.
For people who are actually listening to the podcast.
Yeah. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Tunes, we've actually got our dicks
Let's
out
talk
right
about the covered out.
So,
can I ask you a question about it?
Yeah, sure.
So,
I don't mind.
were you? Be honest. Before you came out, and obviously you knew, were you scared of the reaction of? I don't know, maybe it's your audience. Let's talk about your audience first, and then maybe other people who like from home.
In terms of audience and terms of strangers, couldn't care. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. It was more in terms of my family and like my close friends knew, but like distant friends in my friend group, I was more worried about them just like feeling, I don't know, somewhat uncomfortable. And my family, I'd never told anyone. The only before I told everyone on Twitter, the only person I told is my mum, because
really,
yeah, and it was really awkward because I didn't know how to get it out. One time I was just drunk and I just told her.
Sounds like you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very open. I'm very open when I'm drunk. So no, it was more. So yeah, I wanted to just be able to
quite literally
come out, get out the way. So like what I was saying, since I make jokes, like I was making jokes about Alex being bi, and I was like, oh, I'd hate for someone to be like, oh, he's being homophobic. Then I'm like, oh, I'm actually this, and then they go, you're just saying that now.
So why would you? Why would you be more scared to tell people that obviously you know love you?
Because I care about their opinions. I don't care about a stranger's opinion.
Well, so you care about their opinions, but did you think it would be negative?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. It was obviously I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know until I told him.
But did you think?
Yeah, of course. I was like, because sometimes we've all got that like racist and homophobic uncle. Not particularly, but I mean, like, we've all got family members that come out with some stuff.
Don't leave them alone with the kids.
Especially
not again, David.
Especially one that's not bi-curious.
Yeah.
So
that was last year.
So it was more like I've heard comments, obviously, when I've been at family gatherings. I'm like, oh, a bit awkward.
Oh, that's a bit funny.
Like
cries himself to sleep. It's like Uncle Jared hates my life.
So I was more like like I said, I couldn't care about a stranger's opinion because, why would I care about someone I don't know's opinion? It's more I'd care about my friends and family. So I was nervous in that aspect. And then it got to the point that one day I was just like, fuck it. I was like, fuck it. and I was like, I might as well do it. So I just wrote it out and I just posted it.
Did
just
you,
like that.
did you do everything either coming out via straight online? Because I remember when you put it out, I was like, oh.
So I would have preferred to just.
Because if you're talking about family members, do they all follow you on socials and everything? Because like
Some do, some don't.
But I assume that once you put it out, that they're gonna just tell everyone in their family.
Yeah, but at the end of the
But
day,
your uncle left a dislike.
no, he looked at me. He was like, "Oh, he's into it."
For fuck's sake.
So it was more. I don't want to sit there. I don't want to sit there with somebody I know and be like, by the way, I like this, because I shouldn't need to. Like I shouldn't need to.
It shouldn't identify.
It shouldn't really concern them. So I was like, to make it less awkward, I'll just tell everyone at the same time, because it makes it easier. Like if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't know. Like so the people that care about me will know, but the people that don't, you know what I mean? Like
so obviously you've like said how you felt like before, why you didn't. Now you have came out. What was the reaction both from your audience and your family? I think that's quite interesting.
Honestly, family didn't really care. They were like,
did they say anything?
Like
nice.
Yeah.
Uncle sent you a bottle of wine.
Most of them just said, the only person I got into like a deep conversation was about my mum, just because she was like, oh, so how do you know? We just got into, I don't need to talk about that, but all the other family members were just like, oh, just proud of you. And then some didn't even message me, but some bothered about it.
I think that's quite interesting, because I see on Twitter all the time people saying they're scared to come out because of the reaction, but like
that's 90% of my DMs on Instagram. People go, how do I come out? I'm like people. Sometimes people will be like, Lewis, how should I come out? As if it's like a gender reveal. I'm like, I'm just like,
look at that.
Fucking Hogwarts sorting hat. You're bisexual. But,
come on.
But it's like no, like it shouldn't be like, you know, it should be like, well, yeah, of course it's a celebration, but I mean, like, you shouldn't. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Like for me, it wasn't how should I come out. It was like, how can I actually build up the courage just to like spit it out? So I was like, I might, like, all my close friends I told, like, didn't bother me. Like they'd be like, oh, I'm like, yeah, sure, didn't bother me in the slightest. And then like people were like, when I was saying I was planning on coming out, some of my mates were like, are you sure you want to? One was like, people look at you differently. I'm like, well, then if somebody was to look at me differently because of that, then why would I want that person in my life? So
yeah, for sure.
That's a very good point, mate.
Even my mum was saying that. She was like, I don't think you should have told online before you told the rest of your family. And I was like, no, like, I just feel more comfortable doing that. And I was like, if they can't accept me for who then why would I want that person in my life? It's simple as that.
He's a bloody bi queen, aren't you?
It's
bi queen.
Bi queen.
Bi queen.
Yeah. So basically, that was, how many days was that of moving in?
It was 2 days.
It was like it was
2 days before,
because it was end of Pride Month, and I was like, I might as well do it now. You know, and see people like some people like close friends and family were just like they weren't saying it in a mean way, but they were like, why did you come out? Like, why is it necessary? And I was like, because hopefully someone can see that.
It gives people
like the amount of people that DM'd me being like, it made me feel normal, and I came out to my parents last night, they accepted me, whatever. Or strangely enough, I had mates that I had like known back at school or known through sports and messaged me like, oh, congrats, I came out 2 years ago, and I didn't even know like they were gay or bi, and then they told me, so I was like, oh shit. So even them didn't feel comfortable enough to tell me, but then when they see my tweet, they did. So
classmate, that's weird. That like just some people that you wouldn't expect.
People that yeah, it was just kind of. I was like, oh, that's quite nice.
Well, so you done that 2 days before, and then but 2 days before, because I remember when you uploaded that, and at that point we didn't even know if we were moving in here.
Moving in here. Everyone was just like, what the fuck's happening? I'm just sat there like Tom's Ahmed. Just like,
and then we got this interaction with Ahmed. Should we bleep his name? Because this guy was a fuck nut. Well, a fuck nut and a half.
Don't go into too much detail, but that was his name. It's quite a common name.
Yeah.
So pretty much we were just. It was 3 weeks of us just going, hi mate, any update in the place? And he was just going, I just need more time. I just need more time. We gave it.
Why have you given him that voice?
Because that's how I was reading it. He was like, I just need more time.
He was like fucking Doctor Strange, like.
Yeah.
Just need more time. Just need more time, lads.
Because I was kind of like took on the responsibility of moving in. Like, so I don't know why I did that, but I've never done it myself. So I was just like, you know what, fuck, you guys were more qualified than me.
I think
I was out on the beach.
I think we did it because you were the oldest, and it was a really nice London apartment, so we thought they wouldn't.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
older, the more likely they're going to be like, oh, they're more responsible. Because
Little did they know. Me just like, how do I do council tax?
We are paying it if
We are doing that.
Yeah,
I don't even know if it goes too much.
and we don't have a TV. We don't have a TV.
Yeah, so if you're watching, snitches get stitches.
Oh, he's threatening the audience on the first podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a disaster.
Yeah,
'Cause, I recall like having back and forths with.
If any of you have moved, you will know how much.
During the middle of a pandemic as well.
It's not the actual moving, like the physical moving.
No,
it's
that was fine.
It's the paperwork that just takes weeks and weeks and weeks. All the small text, the small print. It's just.
But didn't we get it all done in one day?
I mean, it all came through in one day. Like we didn't know we were moving in the day before. And
So
then
the day
on the
before,
day up,
deadline
at
day,
the evening,
the
he was just like,
day,
"It's
the
all right.
day before we moved,
Come through on the transfer."
we woke up. The day before we moved, we woke up not knowing if we were going to move the next day. So can you imagine what our stress levels? We were like packing just in case, but we're like, we don't know.
Yeah.
And I had to book a van to drive down all the way to here. So I was panicking a bit. I'm panicking now. But then
I'm my holiday. Round to my penthouse.
so I was
Great.
so yeah, it was fine in the end. Like as soon as we got like the 100% go ahead, it was like, thank God.
It was so.
It was such a relief.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But we hadn't. Have you met him before?
Yeah, we'd been on 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah,
2
we've
nights
been
out.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, you carry on talking because carry on.
Wait, why?
We met once.
AFC side mates.
Yeah.
I thought it did
Yeah.
because you didn't look like you do now, though, did you?
I had longer hair. It wasn't long.
I
but
thought
it was
so
longer.
because I always remember. I always like now. I wouldn't have thought at the time, but when your name came back up, I always remember at that game. All I heard when I was on the touchline, the only name I heard shouted was Charlie. People just
everywhere.
kept shouting Charlie.
It was
Well,
Diego,
everyone's a drug addict.
Diego Maradona in the stands. Charlie!
Charlie. Yeah, obviously you barely remember. I knew who you were, obviously through EXO
I
stuff.
can imagine both of you looked like absolute states at that time. You with your bald head and
he
whatever.
spent
was going
half
on
the
there.
time off the pitch, but you know what you said about me? You actually made a comment about me. I had the footage.
Wait,
okay.
at the game?
Yeah, you made a comment. Yeah. 'Cause I'm quite vocal on the pitch,
It's
but
quite fucking hot. Yeah, like
you know, Cameron, you know what he said about me? I mean,
I think you've told me this.
yeah, I've told you. I'm not even going to try your accent. You
Oh.
look like the kind of guy that goes home and tells his mum that he played well. And I got the assist, and I did tell my I got the assist for the goal, and I did play well, and I did tell my mum.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be worse.
No, but that's what
It's
you
gonna
said.
be like loghead hippie.
No, because I was like, who the fucking.
He definitely got.
I was
Did say
rated.
that?
But
Yeah,
was he
listen.
bald and no eyebrows at this point?
No, you had a bit of hair. It
I
was
had a
short.
bit of hair. Calm down. Is that what I said?
Yeah, mate.
Well, I got it right. My prediction. If I put a Sky bet on that, it would have came
No,
through.
but the thing is, you pretty much made me want to play better because I was like, fuck that kid. So I just ran a bit more, and then you lost.
So I motivated you to be better in your own life.
You know what? Yeah,
There you
100%. And that's how I'm
Amazing,
going to see it. Silver linings.
Is that why you're so nice to us now?
No.
Okay. Right. Well, I didn't know that.
But then me and,
stop. Sorry.
me and Cam were conveniently looking to move to London. We were trying to get this sorted. We were like, we were open to a third roommate. We had some people in the works.
Some people in the works.
Yeah, but some people in the works.
Trafficking.
They were coming on. Oh, I can't be that joke.
Yeah. So we were trying to look for a third person, and conveniently, Charlie was. He phoned me crying and floods of tears, saying that he really wanted to move
Just
out.
can't do it anymore, lads.
that
I can't
never
do. I
happened.
can't edit any more Reddit videos.
That never happened. That never happened. I was not crying.
But he conveniently was saying that he'd be open to looking for a new place, and we were like, perfect. Well,
Because you used to live with, for people that don't know, you used to live with Ethan from the Sidemen. So
Yes.
basically, how was that? And for the reason, why was the reason you moved out?
when did you move in with him originally?
Yeah.
Our phone call that we had on that night, I moved out late May. I think it was like the 17th or
No,
something.
where did you move in with him? I'm saying originally.
Oh, I can say it now. Yeah, it was North Greenwich. It was right next.
No,
Where?
not
Shut
where.
up. What?
When?
When
did you
March,
move in?
March previous year. So I've
Oh,
been living
okay.
with him for about a year and
Okay.
2-3 months or something.
Oh.
It's your accent, mate. Just jar it out.
So you moved in. What was it? How did it go? Like straight from the bat? Did we enjoying it?
Honestly, like it got more strained towards the end, but I'd say 90% of the time it was really good fun. Like it was good. Like we're two 24-year-old, 25-year-olds like living their lives and trying to do your thing. So you do get on top of each other sometimes.
Yeah.
On top of each other.
It's not your
Lewis.
household, mate.
So it started off, was it like a working relationship? Was it like if he would pay for you to stay there if you worked for him, or was it like even or?
Yeah, it was really convenient, to be fair, because he broke up with his first girlfriend, M, at the same time as I broke up with my first girlfriend.
The Heartbreak Kids.
Yeah, but he was just like, we started to smash a lot of work. No, we did a lot of work as soon as we both broke up with our girlfriends. And then it came to a point in time where he was just like, I'm moving into a new place. If you want to do more work, you can come and move in like with me just for like 2 or 3 days a week or something.
Yeah.
You can stay here, we can work, and then that's it. Eventually just ended up just moving in, just happened. But the thing is that I never had my name on the apartment, on the tenancy like I do here.
Yeah.
So it always felt like for me in the back of my mind that like I never had a key, I never had a
key?
I didn't have a key, no. But I mean, I because we were always like next to each other, because we were always like with each other. Like, I didn't really need it, but obviously sometimes it's convenience kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like others were like, can I just take the key kind of thing? So you just give it to me. But
so it was like you say, you didn't have a key, so if it was all right, you didn't have certain things. Why was the reason you were looking to move after? I don't know if that's like a where did you think, what was the start of when you thought you were going to move? Like, was there an indication?
Yeah, to be fair, like for me, I felt like I was losing quite a bit of independence. I felt like I got quite comfortable. So there was a reason, obviously, why I did move out. I can touch on that, but it came to like a point in time where I felt like I don't own this place. I never owned it anyway because it was rented, but I don't like here. I'm just like, okay, this is like my part, whatever. This is like what I bring to the table. The agreement was
a bit like Cam and EXO. You didn't feel like you belonged there type thing.
But pretty much the way it was with the flat, theirs, I didn't have my name on anything. It wasn't mine. It was his. It was just his. I was just like a spectator in that place.
I know how you feel.
Yeah. The agreement was that I would edit for him, and then one of the videos a month I'd cut in half.
Okay.
So that'd be like kind of my rent, so to speak.
Yeah.
But then we ended up not doing 4 videos a month for quite a while until the end. And even by the end, he was making quite a lot of money from the videos. It's a win-win either way. Like I didn't have to do it. Like it was always like a conversation that we could have. We're very open. Like we can just talk about it. That was never the strain of the relationship at all. That was always fine.
So where did the strain come from? Where you obviously moved out?
Without like overindulging, but touching on the topic, essentially like lockdown obviously happened, and we're on top of each other quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like even more than what we were before. Because if I want to go home for a couple of days, I'd go home. If I want to go see my granddad, I'll go there. Go out with my mates, chill. But I couldn't do it. We were like had to be with each other.
Yeah.
Then we stopped being allowed to go to the gym. So that's like a little bit of physical exercise you can't do. So it's like all we are is literally I'll come out my bedroom, go sit behind the computer and stream, and then same like for him, you know. So that's it, one place or another.
Was that the reason then?
No, that wasn't the reason, but it was like how the relationship started to get strained. Essentially, obviously my ex-girlfriend, we'd been on and off from October up until the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But
where's my tissues?
Yeah, if I get the violence out. But I mean, the position that I'm in right now, which is why I feel like I can actually talk openly about it, is because I have nothing but respect for her and I have nothing but respect for him. And it wasn't always that case for either of them. Like there's always been hostile on both terms. Made up with Ethan fully, completely, very recently, and I'm very happy that we have done so because that's a friendship I felt like I lost and missed.
Yeah.
And then for her, whilst it's not the result which I wanted, it's kind of something which I can have that respect, you know.
Yeah. So was that was just a
essentially like because we were on and off. Ethan overstepped in the friendship where he said, if you start talking to her, you want to get back together with her again. Like I'm going to
make you watch me Reddit videos.
Like he felt disrespected in the friendship, and he's entitled to feel that way. But it was never, my decision was never anything to do with him. It was always about like what my heart was telling me. And I'm always going to do what I want, but he didn't want to be around it anymore, which I can also understand. But I think we've come to the mutual conclusion that through like being through lockdown and the time that we've had, so it got a very, very heated argument. I left the flat, and then that night I spoke to Lewis about it. But even with her, like it's not ideal, but I think I can look back on this situation and think everything does happen for a reason. But my friendship is now not lost, and now I'm also here doing this.
What an upgrade!
None of us do Reddit videos.
Well, we gotta please clip that for like 2 months' time when you're like, I've got no video ideas.
Damn the pan, lads. So, what is the next topic that we're going to talk about? Because we had a few things planned. But the next thing was it? Is it Jeremy Lynch? Is it?
Oh, we're not talking about the Wembley Cup because you were involved in that.
Yeah,
Played beside Cafu.
Yeah, actually, I was like sitting across from Cafu, about 3 spaces. Cafu, just Brazilian dong, just swaying from side to side, about 9 inches thick.
When I asked
World Cup winner, just slapping you.
I asked him. I went. Oh, how is Cafu? He went. He's got a massive dick. I went. Oh. I said, I meant like, how was he? Like,
he's got great ball control, and he's a good footballer too.
For fuck's sake, serious?
Oh mate, just swinging from left to right.
That's terrifying.
I know. I was like, no wonder he's got a football 3 legs. So basically, Wembley Cup, that was mad. Like, I feel like this topic's been done to death.
It has, especially over the last 2 weeks, which is like 2 years late. Which is
mental. I think it was because all that footage came out with how he was. But like, I just remember Jeremy Lynch, like, because I remember I was playing left wing, and man like Hacks was right back. So I was talking to man like Hacks, and he seemed like a sound guy. Oh. He seemed like such a sound guy. We're little football friends. On the pitch. He was just mentioning stuff. I was like, oh, like, I think he complained about the ref or something. I was like, oh, well, what the fuck? I don't really care what you're going on about, but yeah. And then he seemed sound, and then I just...
Not like EXO to complain about the refs.
You know, is that this time? I just remember him, and then Jeremy Lynch, I remember being a fucking bellend. What a bellend that guy is. But and I remember after the pitch, we all went into this after party bit, which you could only get in if you actually went there, and like other people were there as well. And I always remember, obviously F2 won it. Jeremy Lynch was walking around with the trophy with a hat on, a grey hat with Supreme written on, just in case you didn't know that he was rich. And I remember he would go up to people with the trophy. He came up to Kyle. He came up and he was like, "Just want a photo with me and the trophy, lads." Can you imagine being that?
That's so embarrassing.
And we were like, "Look."
What was, and when he was saying it, was he saying it like, "Oh, do you want a photo?" Or is he just
no,
he
did that with full chest.
No. So one of my mates tried to like I think he thought with the trophy. So one of my mates, and he was like, "No, like grabbing the trophy, like no, like with me and the trophy." So Kyle got one and took the piss. Like we'll put it on screen if we need to. But the caption. But it was like he was trying to show it off as if, oh, this is what I've won. Which is, do you not think that's
Champions League?
It's fucking weird, man.
You've beat Cal Freezy and a team called Rebel FC. If I'd beat a team called Rebel FC, do you think I'd rant about it?
Yeah, I know. It's one of these things though, and I can understand it, and I'll tell you why. If you were a failed footballer and you now have to play against YouTubers, you would do everything in your power to give yourself validation. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's definitely small man syndrome when it comes to a lot of that.
I think after the final, he was actually like putting the ball on the corner box and going, "Look, lads, watch these free kicks."
Like you went from being the best on the ball player at Arsenal to then having to dribble past Stephen Tries. You know what I mean? If you were a failed footballer and that's what you had to do for your
Don't
career.
do that to him. Don't do that to him.
Oh, no, because it would do something to you, wouldn't it? Like,
of course it would. If you were a failed footballer and now you have to play against YouTubers to prove your validation, not only to yourself but to others, you do everything in your power to...
But even when you're not one of the best players on the pitch, when in the Wembley Cup...
Who's better than them?
Stephen Tries.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, sure.
No, but he wasn't actually one of the best players on the pitch. But I just remember... Anyway, I remember a big crowd being around Stephen.
Not on the pitch, just on the ball.
Just on the ball. I remember a big crowd being around Stephen, and then I don't know. He was like, I saw bickering, but I didn't know what was going on because I was like necking them down.
Having a rap battle.
I was having a rap battle. No, they were, like that. And then all I remember is Brian, just someone told him, and then he just went,
"Is everything all right?"
Oh, that was the funniest part.
and then he just walked over like RoboCop and just went, like Moses with the Red Sea, and just separated everyone. Went, "Is everything all right here?" And then I don't think anyone's actually talked about this. He took them out. There was like an outside bit next to the toilets where it was Brian, Stephen, hashtag Harry, random one, and I forgot, I think it was Lawrence, and because I came out like 5 minutes later, and I just remember Brian being absolutely raging, like trying to figure out who it was, because no one knew who Man Like Hacks was at this point. Like now everyone knows who he is, but no one knew like he was a person until like the actual I remember on the bus, I'm going all over the place with this, but we were on the same bus with the F2, and I remember Stephen playing, I think, wait, was it me? Well, someone put the diss track on the speaker, and they're at the front of the bus. I remember them all turning round, and I thought something was going to kick off then, and I remember Man Like Hacks turning round, because he had his fucking, like, snapback on, even though he's, like, fucking his age. 4 years old.
Fantastic.
Still stuck in 2008.
Brilliant.
But that's the first time I, like, noticed him, but from that, I think it's exactly what you said. You would be raging if you were once a failed footballer
and getting mocked by YouTubers.
Yeah, but I thought Brian was going to knock him out. I honestly thought Brian...
Hacks or Lynch?
The whole fucking squad just
would have
went...
all out, just go boom. It is like a man mountain, isn't it?
Yeah, but the good thing about Brian is he's like...
He kept his cool.
Do you know people that are... There's people that... think they're hard, that are like, I'll go up to people like Like Hacks, but he's one of them people that is actually hard.
He seems like he wants to stop the fight happening rather than start the fight. He wants to stop the fight.
He could have knocked out anyone there.
But that's what it is, when you know, like, you can piss me off, but like if you piss me off, that is your problem.
Exactly.
As opposed to like, don't piss me off, man.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
See, that's a good thing to have, isn't it?
Definitely a very good thing. But you also have to be like 6 foot 100 and 150
You've got to have a
pure
cam head as well.
No, not me.
There's a reason why a man like Hacks is the way he is, and the way that Brian is the way he is, and partly is just purely genetic. Like when you look like that and you act like that, that's probably how it's just going to be. So on the topic of how not to really be and how not to act, we've got kind of another topic. Oh, I've nearly eaten the microphone. We've got life advice coming up, but I think before we touch on that, we kind of want to talk about what our goal is, so to speak, with the podcast.
Yeah, just to round it up.
Yeah.
Yes, so like I said, we've not rushed into this, and hopefully you can see that. We've not rushed into this, we've been taking our time because we wanted to do it right rather than just rushing into it. A lot of YouTubers do that, no one in particular, but I mean, people do just rush into it. We'd rather do it right. And the sense is, like I said, we're going to have this on Spotify and Apple Tunes, so go rate us 5-star. Tell us you really like all our haircuts. And listen to it on Spotify, because what we're going to be doing is for the last 10-20 minutes of our podcast, it will just be audio only.
Yes. So you need to go on Spotify.
You
Preferably
need to.
so we get that deal.
Oh.
Trying to get that Joe Rogan.
We need 3 mugs, not 2. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
I feel so sad. I've got Dunfermline Athletic.
We've got my local. Don't know why you didn't give me that one.
3 mugs right here, though, aren't we? We have fun. We have a laugh.
Can we finish
the
this?
party started now.
But yeah, pretty much this is a wrap. If you're wondering about future podcasts, no, don't worry, it won't just be us 3. We're planning to get a guest on as much as possible, potentially every single week.
Yeah, feel free to comment who you just want on the
that's probably a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Who do you want to see on the podcast?
Anyone.
Give
us a name.
He's Lewis
Tommy Robinson.
It can be a YouTuber, musician, just anyone that you think could be an interesting guest. Even people that have just had crazy stories would be interesting. Not even necessarily famous people. I mean, YouTubers aren't really famous, but I mean, just let us know. And for the last 20 minutes, if you want to watch, you're gonna have to go over to
Spotify.
Do it or Apple
right now.
Or Apple.
Yeah, preferably Spotify once again.
Yes, brilliant. Thank you for watching.
La, la.